Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Welcome to the match reaction video here on Latte Firm. Arsenal have won the North London derby thanks to goals from Gabriel, well, an own goal actually from Dom Solanke, and Leo Trossard. We've won by 2-1 to move 4 points closer to Liverpool at the top of the table. What a feeling. North London derby delight. Glorious. Absolutely sensational. I love it. I love this feeling. Oh, there's so much to talk about. I want to talk about the performances. I want to talk about the win, how it feels. Maybe one or two things that might surprise you with my analysis of tonight's game. I think we made it quite hard work. We could have won by 4 or 5. We need a striker immediately, and Mikel Arteta has been speaking very, very positively about the rest of the transfer window. So let me know in the chat. Let me know how you feel. What a great evening. And listen, let's not be too critical of the performance. It's a North London derby. It's a scum. We've beaten them. We've got 3 points. It's a double, the third win in a row. First time in Premier League history that Arsenal have done that. 3 North London derby wins in a row. Welcome to the show. Get involved. If you're subscribing for the first time, fantastic. If you are a regular, please like the video. It's a massive help to the channel. And I just want to say a warm welcome to wherever you're watching from around the world. Welcome. It's just, look at this smile. I have to be up at in 6 hours. And I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight. Phenomenal. Welcome. Let's go straight to the chat. Louis was first in the house, says, come on, you fogging gunners. Arteta is my gaffer. There is, of course, a slide dedicated to the gaffer because I think he deserves it. And the feel-good factor now, I mean, just cast your mind back. 2 days ago, we've exited the FA Cup, and that's disappointing. I understand, but there was this sort of dark grey cloud hovering above this football club. And then for Forest to take a point off Liverpool, and Liverpool got close in the end, to be fair to them. Now that we've won the North London derby, what an immense pressure off your chest released, and you can go into work and university and school or whatever it is that you do tomorrow morning with a real spring in your step. Louis says Arteta bamboozled Dan so much he had to take off his only 2 centre mids at half time. That's right, Madison and Sarr. Bissouma and Sarr going off at half time. Welcome to the chat, Louis. V Vlad says, let's fucking go. Nothing beats a derby win. We could have scored 5 or 6 here. Honestly, that's exactly what I mean. Rice, MLS, Big Gabby, Saliba, Timber, Erdegaard, all excellent. Such a crucial confidence boost. Hopefully we kick on. Hopefully indeed. And hopefully we kick on in the transfer market as well. JK Miingo just says, hey, Gunners. I think he's in a chilled mood. Chilled vibes tonight, JK. Guna73, Dave, great to see you tonight. Of course, he had access to the North London derby tonight through Latte Firm Patreon. In fact, I think he just said that. Look at that. And thanks, FK, for sorting me a ticket. First ever North London derby for me. And what a result. He says, fucking have it. North London is red, needed this result. It was great to see you, Dave. Really appreciate that. And of course, if you do want to have access to match tickets, sign up to Latte Firm Patreon for the price of a coffee a month. You can support the channel, which is obviously great because I refuse to work with betting companies. But you can also have access to match tickets and also win some every now and again. 433, my man, MLS. Oh my, what have we uncovered? What have we uncovered? What are we witnessing here? What have Arsenal unearthed here from the hill end? What a performance. What a player. There's a slide dedicated to him as well. I love that. The 433 is just having a chat with Dave. What was your first North London derby like? Dave, get involved. Let us know. Arpit, thanks for joining the Patreon gathering tonight as well. Really appreciate your contribution to the channel. Says nothing but positivity today. What's performance? What's performance? What a performance, I think you mean. Trevor Bibbins in the house. Hi, FK. So happy we won this one. I couldn't watch the last 5 minutes. Did Spurs hit the post in the 93rd, 94th minute through Pedro Porro? Did I imagine that? Is that what happened? Did they hit the stanchion? I don't even know. But it was nervous. I was nervous. Karen, good evening to you with the wavy hands. It's a relief to have a win again. Maybe there won't be so much drama on the timeline now. Yeah, funny how everyone's really enjoying this and people have forgotten the last sort of week, which had been a difficult week for Arsenal Football Club. But Karen, I know you're one of the real ones. Jonathan K says, analyze the negative aspects of the game tomorrow, but tonight, proud of the lads. They gave everything with the red dots. A title is there to be won with a few additional attackers. Come on, you Gunners. Don't know about a few additional attackers, but we might get one in the next few days. Let's see. Adam Tuff says he's one of our own. He's one of our own. MLS. He's one of our own. What a player. What a boy. Really phenomenal. Adam goes on to say, Lewis-Skelly, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice and Erdegaard all raised the bar tonight. Timber, Raya, Trossard and Partey all did well. Sterling is going to Sterling. Havertz just needs a goal and he'll be back. Yeah, look, Kai Havertz is I guess poor run in front of goal continues. He had a great chance, a ball dropping beautifully on his head, and he headed towards the goalkeeper Kinski, just, anywhere else, and it's probably going in. I guess it kind of sums up the form that he's in. But I think as soon as he gets one goal, that confidence will just go surging through the veins, and we'll see Kai Havertz of old. DDF says +6 points from them. NLDs, that's right, we've done the double over the scum this season. Fantastic. Tava Ruiz, welcome to the show. Good evening, FK. Good day to be a gunner. It is indeed. James is in the house. James Tansey. Yes, FK. Badly needed that result after the week we've had. The first 20 minutes was was as dominant as I've seen us in the past 2 or 3 seasons. Yeah, I've got something to say about that. I think we were really dominant that first 20 minutes, but Spurs cut us open with a couple of chances back to back really, really quickly. And then, of course, they scored on about 25 minutes through Heung-min Song. And it was just, I sort of sat there, crossed my arms and thought, fuck, it's so typical of what we've experienced recently, like total domination in terms of possession, a nice, neat, intricate play outside the opposition box, almost suffocating them and pressing them into their own penalty area, but you get sliced up in a very easily in a counter attack in the transition, and they create chances. And listen, we need to stop doing that. But I agree with you, James. That first 20 minutes we were brilliant. 433 says, let's get Antoine Semenyo in January. We'll cook with him. Yeah, what a goal last night at Stamford Bridge. Look, he's 25. He's ambidextrous. Is that the right word? Why's my head gone blank? He's comfortable with both feet. Power, athleticism, speed. Is Arsenal too big a jump for him? I don't know, but lots of people talk about him sort of Sadio Mane pre-Liverpool vibes. I wonder. Afsar says, just got back from the Emirates and my voice is gone completely. Afsar, I don't want any negativity from you tonight, brother. You need to be in the mood. We need to be positive. Elroy Welcome says, morning, everyone. Nothing like a Derby Day win. Come on, you Gunners. I hope you mean morning because it's just gone midnight, or might you be watching from across the world, Elroy? Welcome to the show. Emra says, we could have scored 4 or 5. That's how I feel. Made it really hard work for us in the end. V Vlad, that Tierney sub very much felt like a message to Josh and Stan. Potentially, Kieran Tierney was a little bit emotional, actually, on the sort of lap of appreciation at the end. The coaches were hugging him. Maybe this is the farewell. Maybe Arteta, I'm not sure he's that sentimental that he'd give a player a farewell in the dying stages of the North London derby. But Kieran Tierney did seem to be saying goodbye. Of course, he's been talking to Celtic now for a number of weeks. Wayne's in the house. Wayne, listen, are you home yet? The reason why we've not done the post-match phone-in tonight is because these 8 p.m. kickoffs are a real challenge for us coming home, especially when you stay until the final kick, the final whistle, and you're queuing for ages to get into the tube station. He says, I've never felt so sick. My word, the nerves were all over the place. Yeah, it wasn't a very comfortable last 15, 20, let me tell you, and it shouldn't have been that hard, Wayne. But listen, get home safe, and the post-match phone-in will be tomorrow after tomorrow night's games. Matthew Llewellyn, welcome, my friend, says Gabriel Manby, man of the match in 3 North London derbies. He gets it. And also MLS, wow, come on, you Gunners. MLS, what a performance. No superlatives come into my mouth to describe this guy, this kid. The second youngest player to play in a North London derby, second only to Cesc. It's wild what he's done at that age on the Emirates carpet. Latif Kadri says, come on, you Gunners. Gibril says, even Declan Rice came out signing Tierney, had to play left wing, shows how much we need to sign a left wing. Even Declan Rice came out signing Tierney, had to play left wing. Gibril, come on, man, sort the English. I'm having a mare here. Something about Tierney, something about Declan Rice. Dave says, forget about the performance. The win is all that matters. Do need a striker or someone that is confident in the box. Keep the chat coming about MLS. We're going to try and get as many of those comments up later as well, which would be great. Farhan Hassan says, a post-match live at this time on a weekday. What a man. Yeah, listen, man, I got home at 11:30 because after the game we got caught in a lot of pedestrian traffic. Bella and I just grabbed a very quick bite to eat, came home, takes me about 10 minutes to put these slides together. And I wouldn't have missed this match reaction for the world. It's got to be done on the night. So I appreciate all of you joining me, and hundreds of you have tuned in already. Please do like the video. It's a massive help to the channel. Oh yes, says Raphael, catching off, says get in. You're up late, says Greg. Shout out from Philly, and thank you for the content. Thank you, Greg, for tuning in from Philly. Have a great day. Come on, you Gunners, he says. Right, let's bring up the slides before we do that. Wayne. Cheer up, Postecoglou. Oh, what can it mean to I'll let you guys read that and finish that chant off. Yo FK, let's go Arsenal, says JG Gunner. Tim Merrick says, is this the end or the beginning of your review? Just joining from San Diego. Tim, I've just started, my man. Buckle up, get your brew on, and just enjoy and let the good times roll. Thomason's in the house. Oh, I'm wondering what he was going to say. Big up Latte, but the attack is shit. This team ain't good enough to win the league. The manager ain't good enough either. Bring me Inzaghi in the summer. Arteta must leave at the end of the season. Thomason, come on, man. We've just won the North London derby. This is not the night to be sprouting this sort of stuff. I know you hate Arteta, but come on. We've just won. 4 points now off Liverpool. The good times, the feel-good vibes are back at this club. We don't need any more of that negativity, man. Come on. Come on. All right. Right, let's hide that away. Let's bring on the slide deck. So listen, going into the game, obviously the headline. What a sweet, sweet headline. We won the North London derby. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really pleased with the win. And that should be the headline tonight. Let's not be too analytical over the performance. Of course, we're going to do a deep dive into some of that, but I don't want to be too harsh on the fact that we could have scored more, should have scored more, and been out of sight much, much easier. I'm not going to worry too much about the chances that we let Spurs have. The reality, the headline is that we've got the 3 points. We've beaten Spurs, especially after Liverpool fumbled the bag yesterday at City, and it's just gaining 2 points on our title rivals. The lineup when it came out had me a bag of nerves. Now, I thought Martinelli was going to start. I didn't expect Sterling and Havertz and Trossard to be the front three, but there we are. Look, David Raya in goal, Jurriën Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis-Skelly keeping his place at left back. Is he now the best left back at the club? And will he be a left back forever? Is he destined for greatness sort of higher up the pitch? I wonder. Thomas Partey and Rice brought into midfield to play alongside Ødegaard, Sterling, Trossard, Havertz. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Leo Trossard has scored the winner tonight, but when I saw his name on the team sheet, my heart sank. I'm being honest with you. Please, feel free to abuse me in the chat. It's just how I felt. And I've had this long-standing sort of frustration with Leo Trossard. It sounds a bit batshit, but when he doesn't score or when he doesn't assist, he is a passenger. He often, he's carried by the team and he just goes missing, goes absent. But when he scores, of course, he's so impactful, and what a goal he scored tonight. Deserves all of his flowers. Raheem Sterling, I mean, if you think about it, look, it's 2025 and we've just competed with Manchester City in 2 Premier League title chases back to back. And yet we're going for a 3rd title challenge, and it's 2025, and we've got Trossard and Sterling as 2 of our 3 forwards at Arsenal Football Club. I mean, honestly, you would never have guessed that like 6 months ago. Just, it's wildly bad fortune for the club. The bench looking a little bit thin. Neto, Zinchenko, Tierney, Kivior, Jorginho. I mean, look, 3 left backs there. A defensive midfielder who's obviously on his way out. Marino, who hasn't quite hit the standards. Martinelli, who came on and, had that sort of final half hour. And a couple of other boys from Hale End. How desperate we are for some of our players to come back. I mean, look, there's no Tomiyasu. There's no Ben White. Obviously Saka is missing. Ethan Nwaneri. There are some good players that are not in this team. And Gabriel Jesus is, of course, another one of those. And that's how the game sort of started. And on my way home, listening to Talk Sport, listening to the 2 twats that were on air were moaning about Arsenal being this cringe club for having these shirts on the players. I think this is a great gesture. What did you guys make of this? I mean, I saw it for the first time when I was prepping the slides. Every player walking out with a Stay Strong Gabby shirt. I think it shows a connection that we just have with each other in the squad. And Gabriel Jesus, for someone who's only 27 years of age, has had some horrific injuries in his career. He's obviously a really well-liked, well-respected player as part of the squad. And cringe? Really? Jason Cundy? Nah, come on. This is a class gesture from the club, from his teammates. We're thinking of him. We want him to recover. We want him to come back. And it's just a small sentimental thing. I don't know why it winds people up so much. Jonathan K says the MLS performance. Wow. Tavo Ruiz says having MLS and Timber as fullbacks is a blessing. They're pretty much the same player profile. T says FK, fucking hell, trying to wind down for the evening. The Ems was absolutely rocking early doors today. It was. It really was. This is more like it, Thomason. Good to beat the shite again. How about that? That is good. Hero Down Under says Arteta is a great manager, but we need ruthless finishing. We do. Wayne coming back at Thomason. We've just won the North London derby, and that's the message. Jonathan K says, shout out to the atmosphere. Special atmosphere tonight. Need the same for Aston Villa, of course, who come to the Emirates on Saturday. It's a 5:30 kickoff. after Liverpool play away at Brentford, who came back right at the death to get a point against Manchester City tomorrow. Wayne's come back yesterday. Sorry, Wayne's come back and says tonight wasn't about the table, the title, the context of the season. You just beat them at home, no questions asked. These are the games which make you heroes or fan favorites. MLS has done just that. Tross played more like boss than dross this evening, says Donald. I think you're absolutely right. Trossard with a great goal today. Brilliant, brilliant goal. Matt's happy. So many of you are just happy. Come on, you Gunners. Love from Sydney. Love to you as well, Matt. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the content. Michael Harris says, evening. The interview with MLS and Ian Wright is wonderful. I've not seen it. I'm going to watch it. What's that on TNT Sport? It must be on YouTube. I will absolutely check that. What else is coming through? Lots of talk about Sterling being done. Listen, just on Raheem Sterling. Look, he's had a very short time, short game time at Arsenal in the Premier League, and he looked really bright on Sunday in spells against Manchester United. And what I like about Raheem Sterling is how whenever he gets the ball, he shows for it all the time. Always wants the ball. That's a hunger that I like to see. And when he gets the ball, his first thought is run forward. Like just attack whoever he's running against. Could be a centre-back, could be a full-back, could be a midfielder. He just wants to run and carry the ball. And there were glimpses of that again tonight. I thought he was the one person who really wanted to sort of run at the Spurs defence. And listen, he's 5th, 6th, 7th in the pecking order. But if we're going to play him, I'd rather he had some sort of impact on this team. And he was trying, and I can't knock that. It's his first sort of 2 games back-to-back in probably the best part of a year or two. So really happy that he's at least trying his best. Lots of chat about MLS. Wow. T says MLS getting a booking when he was coming off was so funny, such a wholesome character. Christopher Beale says up the mighty Reds, MLS solid, Rice beast, Gabby a wall. Man in the mirror, hear me out. North London forever. It was blasting out. It was phenomenal. Just pre-kickoff. Brilliant. James N. Welcome says MLS, what a player. JG Gunner says MLS showing passion and desire. The homegrown lads just want it more. Listen, there's a point here about the homegrown lads. I mean, Miles Lewis-Skelly has been at the Hayland Academy for so long. He's played against Spurs through the ranks as he's sort of grown and matured, and he knows exactly what it means to play against this team. And he's probably been in the stadium watching the first team for a number of years and supporting them through the North London derby. He gets it as a fan, as a player, as a young man. And I love it. I love it. I honestly, I cannot talk enough. I mean, people are raving about him. They are raving about him. Tise 4422 says MLS is going to snatch Calafiori's shirt if he keeps us up. Well, I think he's already there, mate. Happy Attica says, evening all. Sterling was the worst player on the pitch again. His first thought tonight was to stop. I'm glad it's alone. Shocking. Well, that's gone completely against everything that I've just said. Yeah, but there we are. Right, let's move on to the actual football. And listen, they just never learn, do they? They just never learn. I've got to go back to the original point that someone made at the start of the show, where we did have a really mesmerizing opening sort of 15, 20 minutes. I thought we were in control of the game. We took the game to them. The crowd were really up for it. We were snapping away at the sort of Spurs players' heels and pressing hard and winning the ball back very quickly, dominating possession. And possession was right up and up against their box, sort of moving it left to right, right to left, had a couple of moments to go through centrally. But then they caught us on the break, as teams have done sort of recently. And it's a really risky, mindset. It's high risk, high reward, right? We play such a high line. We're so aggressive in trying to take the ball to the opposition that you're going to leave spaces in behind. And Spurs with, to be fair, Kulusevski and Song on either side, they are 2 top players. And that was a worry, always a worry in the back of my mind. I thought we wouldn't keep a clean sheet tonight. I certainly didn't expect us to concede first, but it was us who conceded first, completely against the run of play. Heung-min Son, it was a shot, I think it was deflected off Saliba from memory. Now, bear in mind, I've just got home. I've not seen any of the highlights, not seen any of the footage, not even heard a peep in the interview, just read the socials for about 15 minutes in the journey home in the car. But it was William Saliba deflection. It went past David Raya, who didn't really have a chance. He would have seen that quite late, and the ball sort of rolled into the bottom corner of the goal. And, 1-0 down. The immediate thought for me was, okay, well, 25 minutes on the clock. They've scored early. And there's plenty of time to get back in the game because we'd started so well. But then I kind of thought to myself, hang on, we're chasing a game and we've got Raheem Sterling and Leo Trossard on our wide positions. Like, are we ever going to score? But of course, score we did, and we had a quick fire double. But the reason why I like this sort of headline is that they went away to the corner flag and they celebrated like they just won the cup final, and they were giving it the old shh, sort of with the humming song, as you can see in the picture there, and it was all just a bit like, come on, lads, you've been here before, you've taken the lead at the Emirates so many times, and you've been absolutely pumped. And Arsenal, as you can see on that graphic on the right hand side, we're unbeaten in our last 16 games against the Premier League Big Six. Like, we have caliber, we have pedigree, we have history, we have a proven track record of coming back in these games and certainly not losing. Afsar says North London forever. A song was sung loud. Wayne says so happy Odegaard looked more like himself tonight. We need him. He needs a goal though, maybe. But the skip was looking much better. Certainly, sort of since his injury and becoming a dad, he's not enjoyed such good form. But today he was edging closer to his brilliant best. Harold Satra says should have been 4-1. Yeah, mate, this is exactly how I feel. Like, we scored 2 very quickly within the first half to kind of respond to that. But second half, we knocked on that door, and there were 2-3 chances from memory. A header that sort of was nodded wide. Kai Havertz with a clear header inside the penalty area. He had so much time, and anywhere else, and he's testing the keeper. Martin Odegaard could have drilled a shot towards the goalkeeper. He did. It was saved, I think, in the end. And we could have been so many more. Lewis Stevens says, let's not forget how good the octopus was. Yeah, I mean, look, Thomas Partey's been fantastic this season. Footballistically available, reliable, brilliant on the pitch, progresses the ball. Just, where's it come from? He's the first 2-3 seasons, it's not been like that, but he's available every week. He's given it his best. He's had a really, really good season. Still wouldn't extend him, but he's had a good season. Trevor Bibbins coming to the defense of Raheem Sterling says he's a squad player doing what squad players do. Paul James says Havertz tried so hard, but he looks knackered. Respect to all the Arsenal who encouraged him all game. I've got to say on Kai Havertz, I got a great round of applause when and cheers when his name was announced in the starting lineup. There were songs, 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again a few times. Really pleased for Kai. And really pleased to see the fans behind him. And listen, it kind of reinforces sometimes that actually the noise is just on the socials, and the hatred that he gets, which we talked about in the late night latte, the horrific messages that his missus received so close to her due date. Absolutely unacceptable, disgraceful. And Mikel Arteta spoke about it in the pre-match press conference, and he hit the nail absolutely on the head. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm so far behind in the chat. T says Gabriel wanted it. Gabriel 100% knows the North London derby, no matter what favela he's from. Absolutely gets it. Was so pumped. Well, let's move on to Gabriel, because it was a quick fire double from the Arsenal to respond. And I love that image on the left-hand side. And actually in the game, I thought it was Gabriel who scored, but it wasn't. It came from a corner kick, our 10th goal in the Premier League this season from a corner, and a feat not matched by any other club. The ball kind of, obviously floats across. Gabriel's putting pressure on the sort of back post on the defender. I think it was Dragusin, as you can see. Obviously bunless there because I've had to crop the photo. And the ball eventually ricochets in off Dom Solanke, if I'm not mistaken. But what celebrations? There was a sort of delayed cheer from the ground. We thought there would be VAR check. The ref didn't let Spurs kick off immediately. There was a slight delay, but the VAR sort of never reached the screen, really. So the announcer announced the goal, and it was pandemonium, and it was 1-1. At that point, I'm thinking, okay, 1-1. It was really important that we scored before halftime, get into halftime and have a serious team talk and come out second half flying, blitz them and just blow them away. But in the end, it only took 3 more minutes, and Leo Trossard. What a goal. Leo Trossard is so frustrating, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Leo says Gabriel was so good. Lots of people shouting Gabriel for their man of the match. Donald says Gabs was immense. I initially thought MLS was our best player, but Gabs showed he was head and shoulders above everyone else on that pitch. Akib in the chat says set piece again, ole ole, set piece again, ole ole. I've sang about 3 times. You guys, what are you doing to me? You're bringing me out into song. Lewis Stevens says Partey was top class, most interceptions, brilliant at passing through the lines. He really is. And, obviously, I mean, we've not even talked about Martin Zubimendi, and we'll do a breakdown, a classic Latte Firm breakdown, the breakdown, maybe in the next couple of weeks or so. But he's obviously going to join us as potentially Partey's successor, stroke Jorginho's successor, an important move for Arsenal Football Club. Anajit says Ødegaard is improving, but his hesitation in shooting is clearly evident. Mate, you have nailed something so important. Martin Ødegaard, over the last 4 or 5 weeks, has found himself in so many good shooting positions. Like today, there was a moment in the second half when the ball came to him and all he had to do was just hit it first time with his right foot. I know he hates that right foot, but just try it. Shoot on sight. Did you guys see how Liverpool created so many chances in that second half yesterday from about 55, 60 minutes onwards when Nottingham Forest started flagging and they were a little bit tired? Every 2-3 minutes, every single player just shoot the first opportunity they get. Test the keeper, test the keeper, test the keeper. And speaking of Kinski, first Premier League start away from home for the young boy. We should have just shot on sight, and he had the ball at his feet 3, 4, 5 times, and he was closed down and could have led to big errors, and he was jeered by the fans. We got to have more variety in our attacking play, and Ødegaard needs to do better with his shooting boots. Anajit, really, really good point. Wayne says, and you're still staring at the Emirates press room floor. I saw a very, very inappropriate but very funny tweet about Ange and the way that he looks at his floor. I'm not going to repeat it on this channel. James M says, absolutely battered them, and 2-1 flattered them. Listen, on Leo Trossard's goal, the reason why I sort of said just a few moments ago, I find him really frustrating is because, like I said, and like I've been saying for weeks, when he doesn't score, when he doesn't assist, he's often just a passenger. He does nothing in the game. He's not great with the build up. He's not really exciting in a sort of, he doesn't beat his man and dribble and create sort of chances. He's just sort of floats along, and I find it really frustrating. But when he does score, he's obviously so impactful. And when he does get an assist, obviously he notches up the numbers. So, I mean, tonight I'm just glad he scored. And what a finish. What a finish. Left foot ping straight across the face of the box. The ball bounces in front of the goalkeeper and it nestles into the net to give us a 2-1 lead just before half-time. And it was 3-4 minutes after Gabriel, or after Dom Solanke's own goal. Delighted for Trossard. I honestly, I want him to shut me up. I want him to score goals so regularly and create goals so regularly and have more of an influence. I don't want to be right in saying that I think he's carried by the team. Lots of comments coming in about Kai. Kenny, come on, man. Kai is terrible. This is the worst footballer I've ever seen. Come on, Kenny, man. Behave, please. JG says Kai is such a scrappy player. He makes his teammates better. Ooh, Sterling's not getting much positivity in the chat. Dave says the size of Gabby's veins in that picture. Hulk neck. I think he's had that same picture against Spurs in the last 3 games that we've played. Wayne says Gabriel is my centre-back. Saliba will always get the style points, but Gabriel is our leader and our best pure defender. Very, very difficult to disagree with that. I think Gabriel is just a phenomenal player, and I want to see Gabriel and Saliba both win trophies. Baz says, what was we all nervous about, lol? Elroy says, Trossard has that in his locker. Without Saka, he is our best finisher. Listen, I'm not denying that he is a good finisher, Elroy. I think, obviously, he's a good finisher. I just don't think he's consistent enough, and I think when he's not finishing, he can be very, very quiet in games. And that's what makes me feel a little bit nervous about playing him, 20, 30, 40 times, because he's not obviously going to score 20, 30, 40 goals. Sabs A says, great win, FK. Feel a lot better, but boy, do we need a striker ASAP. By the way, what was Sterling doing, slowing the game down? It didn't feel like that in the ground. It felt like Sterling was trying to do stuff and make things happen. But listen, you guys obviously had the best view in the house. Presumably you've watched it on telly. Baz says Deck was right about one thing. Other teams come to the Emirates, sit deep and defend against us. Spurs are not like that, but they got punished. Villa will be a lot harder this weekend. Look, Villa are a good team. They are a good team. And they played Everton tonight, right? What was the score in that game? Let's have a look. So scores tonight were Villa won away at Goodison. Wow. You'd have thought David Moyes would have had a bit of a new manager bounce impact, particularly at Goodison, but that's a good result for Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins amongst the goals. Crystal Palace winning away at Leicester. Newcastle, Alex Isak scoring twice in a 3-0 victory over Wolves. Wolves surely tip for relegation. We shall see. Christopher Beale says men against boys out there tonight. Wayne says 197 watching live on YouTube right now. Only 30 likes. Get the likes up to 50. Get the likes up to 200. There should be 197 likes on the video, guys. But I appreciate you making time to listen to me and to celebrate the North London derby. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wayne also says the Spurs keeper was hilarious. He epitomizes that club. Yeah, a bit of a clown. Very, very soft in goal. Should have shot more. Really want to see us, test goalkeepers more. The Spiz says a lot of Leo's appearances have been 8 out of 10 this season. Don't forget. Have they? Have they? Maybe not. Dobbo, welcome to the show. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. Love that song. I think I've burst into song now 5 times on tonight's show. But Dobbo, he says the title charge is back on. And I'm not going to disagree. So listen, 2-1 at halftime. We should have come out and scored, at least 2 or 3 in that second half. Like I say, those chances, Ødegaard sort of delicately chipping it towards the goalkeeper. Havertz with a header from point blank range, but it went straight to the keeper. I think it might have been Havertz again who kind of nodded just wide at another corner. Have I made that up? There was someone I can't even remember. My head was just bad. Sab says, fully agree, R.E. Trossard. With Saka missing, he really needs to offer more. Just doesn't do enough for me. Colleen, welcome from Colombia, says, FK, you eating chicken is all over my timeline to celebrate. Is it? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Gabrielle, honestly, he has come so far with us. Turned into a man with us. Ødegaard looks sharper too, hoping he can score again. I think you're right, Colleen. Ødegaard is beginning to edge closer to his brilliant best. And I still think he's probably in second gear tonight. I think there's 2-3 more gears certainly for him to get up to, and we need the skipper. We need the skip to be at his best because he needs to drag us through while we are in the absence of forwards. Akib asks, FK, do you still think we can win the league? Of course. Dave says our attackers could take a lesson from Wanyeri. As soon as he gets into the box and gets a sight on goal, he shoots with power and confidence. That's my point, man. That's my point. FK, stop, says Kenny. How would Trossard get criticised? A guy that can take on a defender, run and shoot, and that number 29 get praised. Tell me what he does. He makes us 10 against 11 in each match. Kai Havertz is a better player than Leo Trossard. Kai Havertz has a better impact on this team than Leo Trossard can. I'm not arguing about this. Leo Trossard is, when he, like I say, I've said it time and time again, when he scores, when he gets assists, fantastic. When he doesn't, he's too quiet, not influential, doesn't contribute enough, is often a passenger. Kai Havertz, off the ball, unbelievable. You'll be hard pressed to find a player who works harder off the ball than Kai. Runs the channels, is a nuisance to defenders, did score goals with ease first half of the season, has struggled recently. Granted, all players go through lulls, but you cannot deny Kai Havertz's impact on this team. Jeffrey showing some love for Kai. Dan Alpha, welcome, my friend. Congratulations on your latest arrival, your new addition to the family. Dan, of course, had a ticket to the North London derby also via Patreon tonight, but couldn't go. Says, good evening, Latte Firm. Evening, FK. Doing the night feed, shouting, come on, you gunners, in my head. Bless you, my friend. Bless you. Dad to dad, game recognized game. I stay blessed. Enjoy it. Jonathan K says Watkins and Duran are coming to town. Is it true that John Duran's being chased by West Ham? Have I misquoted that? Have I read that? If he's available and West Ham are interested, I mean, we could do a lot worse. Aston Villa will be a much harder game than the Spurs game, says Afsar. 100%. Wayne, come on, you need to get over this Uncle Unai nonsense. He was awful here. Garbage. And we better batter him on Saturday. Dobbo says MLS is a special player. I was in absolute awe watching him tonight, and that is where we're going to head next. Key talking points. Listen, first up, look, it's the first time we've won 3 Premier League North London derbies in a row. First time. And I think a lot of credit must go to Mikel Arteta. He has masterminded this team. He sets us up in a way, that is hard to beat, that gets the North London derby, that understands the value and the importance of the game, And to win it three times in a row now is fantastic. You know, we've done the double now over Spurs again, which is a great feeling. And look, they might be struggling in that bottom half of the table, but they're still the enemy. And on Derby Day, form goes out the window. We know that only too well. It's a big, big fixture, probably the biggest and best derby in the Premier League. And it's important that we came away with the 3 points, which is what we've done. So credit to Arteta, credit to the players, especially at a time when, you know, we've had two really bad, I would say defeats. I mean, we lost on penalties to United, but the defeat against Newcastle at home in the League Cup. Non-Arsenal fans have gone wild on social media. The press have really had their day. Lots of pressure mounting on Mikel Arteta. The feel-good vibe is now back, and it's down to the gaffer and the team who've worked so hard to try and get tonight out of the way. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Donald says karaoke machine for FK. I do have a good voice. I really do. Chris C says, would have loved to have seen more overlaps from our fullbacks, so they missed the old Saka White connection. Chris, you've read my mind like a book with pictures. I said it a couple of times to the people that I stand next to. So Rob, who stands on my right, is a 7-foot giant. Rob, if you're watching, I know you love the post-match phone-ins, but and of course Yembele to my left. And I said to both of them, you know what I really miss, obviously apart from Saka, because everyone misses Saka. I miss the Ben White buccaneering runs, the overlaps. Like Timber's trying his best, and Timber's brilliant, but he loves to invert a lot more and get involved in build up. Whereas Ben, he just quietly makes runs, heads back, makes runs, heads back. Just never gets bored of it, never gets tired of making those runs. And I can't wait to see Benny back in Arsenal colours. He'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. That is a massive return for us. DS Electronics Unlimited says, Happy New Year, everyone. If that's your business, please do check it out. DS Electronics Unlimited, presumably electronics services or goods or whatever. Christopher Beale says, just seen a tweet saying Big Gab has scored more goals this season than Højlund and Xerxes combined. Is that right? Is that right? Interesting. Tavo says Gabriel is arguably the best centre-back in the league this year so far. Kenny says, what? To my point about Havertz, I'm done, FK. Kenny, don't leave. But come back at me, man. Come on. Anthony says, spot on, FK, with that Kai is better than Trossard. There you go. Duran is being chased by PSG, says Haril. Yeah, I heard that. And then I heard that Aston Villa named £50 million as their price and they kind of walked away. But then I heard today that West Ham are after him. I mean, is he available? Really? Wayne says, look at that image. Ange looking down, what he does best, how to get a job. How did he get a job when he hates eye contact, but he has a weak handshake too? Well, I saw the handshake at the end of the game, and he was sort of shaking his head and sort of, you know, nodding in approval to Mikel Arteta. I don't think Ange is the guy that they need. I think Spurs are a mess. What are they? Bottom half? They'll be lucky to finish top half this season. And they're doing well in the League Cup, but Liverpool will batter them at Anfield in that second leg. And they obviously won't win the FA Cup. So it's just another road to nowhere, really. Gyökeres, my man, the Spears. I'm assuming you're a bloke. Kai is okay, but Gyökeres is very good. If we can get Gyökeres, that would be unbelievable. Right, let's talk about the main man. Miles Lewis-Skelly. What is there to say about this kid? He's a kid. We have to remember, the guy's a child. Certainly to me. I mean, you know, I'm in my very, very early 40s, and I'm sat here raving about what is Miles Lewis-Skelly? 18? Let's have a look at this. I should know this off the top of my head. Born in 2006. 18 years old. Just turned 18. The second youngest player to play in a Premier League North London derby, second only to Cesc. That is the company he is keeping. And I got to be honest with you guys, I've been talking over the last couple of weeks just saying that MLS's body strength is unbelievable for a kid. And if you think about how he has to keep growing physically over the next sort of 2-3 years, I don't know what his ceiling is. He has a very similar profile to Timber, but on the left-hand side. Defensively, shades of Ashley Cole, dare I say. And we might not even see him end up at left back. I mean, what are we even watching unfold in front of our very eyes? Like, this kid has it all. He has the calmness, the coolness, the composure, the strength, the technical ability, the patience on the ball, the vision to want to make those progressive passes. He has the courage to make those decisions. I mean, wow, what a player. And then to give it the way he's done that in that photo. I love this sort of edit that someone's done on socials. You know, I don't know if it was aimed at Heung-min Son, but someone's obviously paired that together. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was aimed at Spurs fans. I don't know. Whatever it was, it shows guts and balls and how much he gets the North London derby, and I fucking love it. Guna73 says MLS is so strong, shows no fear. He absolutely loves to fight and has the skills to match Dave. Honestly, what a pleasure to have seen MLS tonight, eh? In the North London derby. Rafael Kachanov says Lewis-Skelly had such a cool head. The way he laughed off the scuffle at the end and then teed up the crowd with chef's kisses. Yeah, there was a little bit of, it felt like handbags. I mean, I sit North Bank lower, so this happened at the other end at the final whistle. As I've said, I've not watched any of the highlights, but there was a coming together, and then I think he got booked as he sort of walked round. I don't know why. Then he sort of G'd up the fans. I'll need to watch that, and I'm of course going to very much enjoy the rewatch that I'm going to see. Waynesbot says FK is just called DK Anthony without realizing he's DK. Brilliant. Huh? Who? What? Explain that to me, Wayne. It's 1 a.m. I'm not making any sense at the moment, but you guys are still here. MLS is 18, says Paul James. This piece says, yes, FK, I'm Mike from X. I speak on the lives. Had a bit of a meltdown last time. Mike, welcome, my friend. Welcome. It is great to have you here, Habibi. Paul James says, MLS is really press resistant. He is, Paul. Absolutely phenomenal. The number of times that Spurs fans, in particular, Spurs players, in particular Kulusevski, tried to close and win the ball off him, and he was just like, as if he was playing in slow motion, like backing players off, backing into them, holding the ball, shielding the ball. Unbelievable. Mike goes on to say, when MLS is 25, if he avoids injury, he could be top 3 left back in the world potentially. Is he going to be a left back though? Wayne says this man is not a left back. He's going to be so good in midfield. It's outrageous. Where does he play midfield? Left 8? Is that the answer? Are we looking at the new, the new Granit Xhaka, but much better? Donald says MLS is brought up by his fantastic mum that runs a football charity to support parents taking their kids to games in the Children Youth Academy. I did not know that. Is that so? Wow. Be amazing to hear more about that, Mrs. Lewis-Skelly, if that's you. Raphael says MLS loves a scrap. Look, he's got that dog in him. He has. He gets it. He's been doing North London derbies from a young age, and he understands the passion and the emotion that goes through these fixtures. And Raphael says, he goes on to say, does not shy away. He should be a midfielder, says Chrome. Welcome. It's a waste otherwise. Yeah, maybe. I think he could be a midfielder. The Spears Mike's come back to say his post-match interview with Wrighty is a must-watch. Was that on TNT Sport? Then I take it. Tommy Tuchel was in the Emirates Stadium tonight, so maybe he's going to be looking up MLS. Vive Lad says Alex, of course. Who else? Alex from Different Knock has a great segment with Miles Lewis-Skelly's mum, on his channel. Such a wholesome family. Did he really? Alex, man, this guy, he's just doing incredible things. Sick of it, really. Raphael says, would love to see MLS grow into that left 8. Paul James says MLS has played largely central midfield or left 8 in the academy. Jonathan Kay says, did anyone see Josh Kroenke in the stadium? Did he? Was he in the stadium? There was rumours that he was flying in. And of course, as soon as that rumour broke, Arsenal made moves for Martin Zubimendi. And Mikel Arteta, after tonight's game, talked about we're in the market to reinforce our attack, which is fantastic. So look, Miles Lewis-Skelly, I salute you. I doff my cap. I am in awe of your performance, young man. What a brilliant player you might turn out to be. But what a performance tonight. You deserve all the praise and all the rest because you put in some shift. So look, in closing, lads, lasses, don't write us off just yet is the headline. The title race is on. Do not believe anything else. Mikel looking very happy at the end of the game, of course. And, he too understands what it's like to win the North London derby. He understands what it means to win. He was a player for us and he understood. The North London derby was a massive fixture and Arsene Wenger used to love it. And of course, he would have been part of that move. So he gets it. And I'm happy to see the gaffer happy again. You know, the good vibes. You know, I always talk about that. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you're kind of groggy and you just sort of open your eyes and you have that flashback of the game from the night before or the day before, and then you remember that we won. That feeling, just bottle it up, and that would be the most sensational thing to sell. Rofikov says, FK, finally some positivity. That's harsh. I'm always positive on my channel. What are you talking about, brother? Let me know, man. Let me know. Wayne, you just made me laugh with this. Tierney, a left wing, followed by Sinchenko at left wing, was top tier content. Yeah, I think Kieran Tierney, it's probably his farewell tonight because of the way that he sort of walked the lap at the end, and the coaching staff came over to him and hugged him. So let's see. Mo K says, you know what got me gassed? Arteta literally saying that we're getting a body, and he never speaks openly like that. Yeah, listen, I don't know who it's going to be. It could be a loan move for Dusan Vlahovic. It could be a transfer all-out move for Benjamin Sesko, who of course scored again tonight. Now, did you see his long-range shot from just a couple of nights ago? Bullet finish. Or it could be my man, Victor Gyökeres, who of course plays at Sporting Lisbon, but for the right money, I'm sure he would have his head turned and he'd want to try himself on in the Premier League. Paul James says, we are starting to feel Liverpool in. What a difference 3 days makes. Yeah, look, Liverpool are going to have a blip. I'm sure of it. Look at the league table. They have played one game less than us, and they have a 4-point buffer. But the run of form they are in surely is not sustainable. Like, they are on some mental trajectory, and Brentford away this Saturday will be a difficult fixture. Let's have our fingers crossed and hope that they slip up. V Vlad says the day after a North London derby win is just the best feeling ever. It really is. It really is. It's just an amazing feeling. By the way, hundreds of you watching live on YouTube right now. Please do like the video while you're here. It's a massive help to the channel. Quick shout outs for a couple of things. Obviously, these match reaction videos, if you're tuning in for the first time, happen on every match day. Post-match phone-in will be back live on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow after the games. Hopefully, Wayne, you're still in the chat. Let me know if you can do that. And we'll be back with a late night latte on Friday to preview the weekend's action and just have a bit of a chill sesh, which Wayne will join me for also with Yembele. So loads of action to come. Get involved. And if you'd like to support the channel further, as you can see with the ticker along the screen there, head over to patreon.com/lattefirm. For the price of a coffee a month, you can enjoy ad-free content. You can enjoy access to match ticket giveaways completely free and other competitions, but also have access to tickets on a match day at face value, which is just a nice thing. And it's a really nice community that's growing there. Wayne there with the phone in, baby. That's right. The post-match phone in tomorrow is going to be lit. Could you imagine if Southampton beat United as well? Wouldn't that be something super to include? Karen says, I read that Vlahovic is injured. Yeah, he wasn't in the Juventus squad for their last game, potentially because he's on his way out, or maybe because he is injured. Let's see. Mo says, FA Cup, League Cup, harder away fixtures, contract problems. Yes, I'm gasping at straws, but very real straws, my friend. I just don't think it's sustainable. And listen, the FA Cup and League Cup, if we are to exit the League Cup, that means we might end up going to Dubai. And you know what happened after that last season. Jonathan Case says United are 15th. They are indeed. We're going to leave it there. 48 minutes. This is one of the longest ones, but it's been tremendous fun just to kind of talk to you guys and enjoy and revel in the victory tonight, the North London derby. It's all about winning that game, and Wayne's just left us with the perfect message. I'll leave you with this. Spurs have lost more games in the league than Ipswich. Well, there you go. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow with a post-match phone-in on Twitter. If you've never heard that, if you're not sure what that is, head over to Apple or to Spotify and just download the last one that we did after the United exit in the FA Cup. It's really, really good. Lots of people just come on and have their say. Nothing sensational. And if you are going to listen on audio platforms, please do leave Latte Firm a kind review. It's always very, very helpful. Come on, you Gunners, shouts Haril. Dave says, appreciate the show. Appreciate you, Dave, and really lovely to see you at the Emirates again. Thank you for coming. Hope you had a safe journey home. Karen says, night, Raphael. Wayne, wishing everyone well. Peace, fellow Gooners. There's a lot of love in the chat. Isn't it great? If only we could play Spurs every week, eh? Goodbye, Ange. And thank you. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Listen, let's leave it there. Until next time, it is bye for now. Come on, you Gunners.